But one thing I do want to talk about actually did not happen at our meeting. It happened Monday night at the county commission meeting where the commission passed a resolution opposing some of the potential locations for our wastewater treatment plant. And, historically, Coleman, we've had a good working relationship with the county. And I've heard Mayor Hutto give a lot of speeches. And one of the things he always says is that there's two things he and the county government have to do, and that's educate and incarcerate. Well, he can't do either one of those without our sewer. This is a list of all the county schools that are in our city limits that are on our sewer. Lebanon High School, Wilson Central High School, Southside, the Adult Learning Center, the Adult High School, the Barry Tatum Academy, and the central office is also on our sewer. Now, there's two schools in the county that are on our sewer system. That's Gallayville Elementary and Gallayville Middle. And also, Coleman, you may remember earlier this year, the new Lagardo Elementary, they built that school before TDEC approved their step system. And they couldn't open it. And so our city council agreed to let them pump and haul to our sewer plant to get that school open, and we bailed them out. They could not have opened that school without us. And more recently, just a few weeks ago, the city council approved for the new Central Pike Elementary School to be on our sewer system. That's not in the city limits either. So they had started a school on Central Pike, and the water authority could not even serve it with a step system. And so we came in and agreed for them to hook up to our sewer system so they could open that school as well. And it'll be on our sewer system from now on. So that's the education aspect of it. Now the incarceration aspect of it. The ever-expanding Wilson County Jail, which is really a prison complex, is on our sewer system. The new courtroom building, that big building that they're building up there right now, is on our sewer system. The courthouse, the fairgrounds, county offices throughout the city operate because of us. Now, over 20 years ago, the city of Lebanon agreed to run a sewer line all the way to the Rutherford County line for the National Superspeedway. So every building you see on 840, all those warehouses, those convenience stores and gas stations, that industrial complex out there by the Superspeedway, every bit of that is on our sewer system. So all that economic growth out there, all that property tax the county receives, all that sales tax the county receives is because of our sewer system. In Coleman, they ask for more every day. All the time they're asking for more capacity out there. In addition to that, the Expo Center, when it was built, the city of Lebanon agreed to pay $300,000 in water and sewer improvements to get that building built, in addition to paying $100,000 a year for 20 years to the Expo Center. We pay more per year to the Expo Center than Farm Bureau does to put their name on it. And we have 10 years left on that. That's another $1 million. In addition, historically, every time the county wants to build a building in our city limits, we waive their construction fees. We put that in front of the city council to waive their construction fees. So what I want to say is that Lebanon is the economic engine that drives this county. Our economy is bigger than Mount Juliet's. I've said that on this show many times. We are the economic engine that drives this county, and sewer is what runs that engine. So what I want to say next is to the county leaders, the county mayor, and the county commissioners. The success of Wilson County depends on the success of Lebanon. And I want to say something too to the citizens of Lebanon. You live in Wilson County too. Wilson County property tax is $1.16, and the people who live in the city limits of Lebanon pay that. Our city property tax is 40 cents. And the city of Lebanon provides a lot more services in this town than the county does. Now, myself, the city council, we have sat up there and we have heard people talk about the city of Lebanon like it is a pariah sucking the life out of this county. That is not the case. In fact, it is opposite of the case. Lebanon does more for Wilson County than Wilson County does for Lebanon. Now, Coleman, this sewer plant is going to be built. That committee is going to pick a site, and we're going to go buy it, and some resolution by the county commission is not going to stop us.
There was a resolution passed at their meeting Monday night.
It was.
Opposed to locating it anywhere outside the city limits of Lebanon, I believe.
And the one commissioner who voted against it represents West Wilson County in Mount Juliet. Everybody else voted for it.
Have we got a war going here?
Not that I want. As I said, Coleman, this wastewater treatment plant has been sitting there since John F. Kennedy was in office. There's new technologies. There's new ways of doing things. We need this plant. It's going to be built. There is a site selection committee that is currently meeting, and they'll be together again in 2 weeks to start narrowing down sites. It's going to pick a site. Now, I have no idea where that site's going to be. Now, Coleman, I've talked about it out here before. When I was working on this, I felt like it should go somewhere close to the current sewer plant. But this committee is looking at them. There are viable sites in other locations. And I know this committee is going to go out there and they're going to do their job and they're going to pick the best one. I think that they should start narrowing them down. I think the committee has taken a little bit too much time to get to this point. Because we do have federal funds out there that we need to collect from the ARPA funds. I think that's important. If we don't collect those funds and are able to get those funds, then that's something that our ratepayers will have to pay for. That's several $100,000. But I want to say this: that committee is made up of volunteers, people who care about this city, care about its success, and they're working hard, and they're sitting through a lot of tough meetings, but they're going to do their jobs. And they're going to narrow down to at least 3 sites to present to the city council. And then once they do that, we're going to go buy a piece of property, and we're going to build that wastewater treatment plant. But the thing we hear all the time is and look, I understand, Coleman, that nobody wants this next to them. I understand that, but we have to have it. And we have to have a location. It has to be somewhere along that pipeline that goes from our current plant to the river. Again, when I was working on it, I was working on a location closer to the current plant. But ultimately, it has to go somewhere. It has to go somewhere.
Do you consider this resolution they passed Monday night really a slap in the face to the city of Lebanon?
I do. I really do. Nobody talked to me about a resolution. Now, Mayor Hoto, now obviously we've talked about this. We've had phone calls about this. Nobody said anything to me about, hey, Mayor Bell, we're thinking about doing a resolution. Nobody talked to, as far as I know, any city councilors about a resolution. There are county commissioners who represent people who live in the city limits of Lebanon. So while they're county commissioners, they need to think about Lebanon too. As I said before, this city is the economic engine that drives this county. We provide sales tax revenue. We provide property tax revenue. If it wasn't for our sales tax growth, that county property tax would probably have to be going up. So yeah, I do see it as a slap in the face. I really do.